Bulletcast for life.
Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bulletcast, the only sports and recreational podcast that is simply just too sweet. I'm your host, Philip Antoine, and as always, I am the modern day Mamba Raja. I'm joined in studio making his return, the lunatic freelancer, Sean Stewart.
The fare was not worth it. I would rather have been here.
The California Kid Mitchell. And today I'm going the Austin Aries to my Bobby Roode. Got some TNA Dirty Heels going on. How's it going there, guy? Brandon.
I'm going good. It's a little packed in here today.
It is. Or I could
full
go
house.
Got a full
the
ride.
Rusev, the Wade Barrett, and the Alberto Del Rio to my Sheamus League of Nations.
I mean,
Probably.
Oh wow, that was a
As
that
long
was a
as I-
thing. That
you
was
know,
a
I mean,
thing.
I like
as long as you're Del Rio, I know
I
why.
get Paige.
Oh,
Oh,
He's
yeah.
turning the pages. All right, guys, let's jump into
beating him too.
Whoa.
what's going on outside of the ring.
Jumping the gun here.
First of all, Austin Aries has been released by the WWE. What in the actual hell is
Blue
going
hell.
on?
There you go.
Yeah. No, I did not see it coming.
I mean, he wanted to be more than just a cruiserweight division. Creative did not think
Yeah.
so. I mean, do we see him back in Ring of Honor? Does he go to Japan?
I don't
He's
know.
not going back.
He's got
to
that
Japan.
no compete clause.
Yeah, once it's over.
Yeah. Well, it's a no compete on like broadcasting clause, so he
Yeah.
can go do like.
WWE has to
television
like.
shows.
He can go do like an APW.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I personally really liked him. I don't think he was ever really totally given a time to shine.
He's the greatest man that ever lived.
Yeah. You kind of, because the problem is there's really no other cruiserweight that I wanted to see take the title off of Neville.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, okay, well, he's going to lose all of his matches. That doesn't really give the greatest man who's ever lived any credibility if he's going to
Doesn't
lose all of his
really
matches.
He's
doesn't.
got that CM Punk personality where, he's a very independent spirit. So if he doesn't get his way, he could be a little grumpy. And he obviously didn't get his way. And
I have to give Aries I have to give him credit where credit's due. I usually say I sleep during the cruiserweight matches, but watching him at Payback, I actually was into that match. And
I got to see him live. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Velvet Sky, she's announcing that she's going to retire. She had a
so sad.
she had a
I
decent
met
career.
Velvet Sky at WrestleCon. Shout out
Shout out
Bubba Ray.
Shout out Bully Ray, yeah. Shout out to the dude. All right, D'Angelo Williams, the guy who had a match in Slammiversary, the football player. Apparently, he only trained for 2 or 3 days.
Mm.
I guess that's what you call natural.
He had a great showing. It was really good. All right, the term Money in the Bank briefcase is no longer going to be existing. Now it's just the contract.
Really?
Yes. You still walk around with a briefcase, but they're calling it the contract.
That's stupid.
I think that's a mistake.
Also, they got rid of pyro because they're just trying to save money. They don't feel like they need it.
They don't need it. And it's very loud.
I
Yeah.
enjoy the pyro.
I mean, it's fun. I think maybe save it for less, like, for specific
I
moments.
mean, those
Like
But
a
still
Brock,
use it.
like a Brock entrance.
Or Kane.
Oh, I miss Kane.
Yeah, no, the Brock entrance was pretty lacking this week,
Yeah.
and at Great Balls of Fire. And you would think at a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire there would be pyro, but
Nope.
We're
Guess
gonna
not.
get into.
Not this
We're
one.
gonna talk about the balls. All right, and not that family.
shout out Lonzo triple double this weekend.
I hate all of you guys. All right, Tyler Bate and Pete
too.
Dunne is named the #1 WWE match of so far from NXT Takeover.
It's my match of the year so far.
It was great.
It was amazing.
Dunne continuously rolling out of the ring because he needed to catch his breath. Great storytelling there.
Better
My favorite
better than
bit-
Cena Styles.
Cena Styles was good.
My preference would be this one. I mean, it has the kind of ending that I've waited to see in a wrestling match for years. The guy doing a high flying jump over the top rope and the other guy just stepping out of the way, pushing him to the ground, and then rolling him in, finishing him
Yeah,
off.
that
and
hasn't
ending the
that
match.
hasn't happened in quite a while.
It's just kind of like, yeah, that's what I would do. I would just step to the side. The guy's flying through the air.
All right.
Made me happy.
Alberto Del Rio, he has been suspended indefinitely from Global Force Wrestling, and he has been being investigated for domestic violence. Apparently he's been hitting Paige for quite some time now. And there was audio that leaked. TMZ put it on YouTube of their confrontation in the airport.
Because at first what Paige said is there was like 3 people involved, where like a fan or whatever started it, but then the tape leaked and it was really just Paige and Del Rio yelling at each other.
Yeah, I'm not I don't condone violence among women. This
course
is
not.
It just makes you wonder, is there some sort of Stockholm Syndrome thing going on here? Because,
Well, apparently Brad Maddox abused her too.
Okay, because,
So
she's,
she's kind of been in these type of relationships before.
as far as I'm concerned, she's thrown out her career with the WWE
Yeah,
for
being
Del
with this
Rio.
dude. I
who's-
mean, like, this guy is calling like one of the heads of the company a a pendejo and calling him the man with the big nose. Like, dude, when you first left the second time, you said everything was cool. Now you're all bitter and whatnot. Just like shut up and go home.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
tired of looking at you.
everyone just needs to cool
And
off.
then he said he's gonna
And
fight the New Day. Like, dude, just calm
And
down.
he'll buy him a drink after.
That doesn't make any
I
sense.
know it doesn't.
I used to be a
Nothing Del Rio says makes sense.
I used to be a Del Rio fan, but now I'm just like I don't care anymore. Like you're garbage to me now.
It's a train wreck.
Yeah. All right. So reports have been going on that there was close to a women's Royal Rumble happening.
Ooh.
And
I
that,
don't
I
know.
looked at the roster. If they get like a few, bring in some like NXT chicks, and then like maybe one or two, three,
Well, by
maybe.
that point, the Mae Young Classic.
the
will
Mae
have
Young
happened.
Classic, bringing in
Exactly.
a bunch of new talent.
Exactly. So this is really close to happening.
I think I would be down. I mean, the Royal Rumble is the highlight of my year WWE wise. I love the Royal Rumble. I'd love to
do
watch a
too.
women's Royal Rumble.
I'd be very excited. And then we'd have the like they could choose like
Yeah,
what
you
champion like
Yeah,
back in the
you
day.
you could tell more than one story. You could tell multiple stories. Honestly,
excited.
I actually think that the Royal Rumble is one of the things that allows the WWE to tell so many stories at once, and I think the women have needed it for
Yeah.
a while. So I
All
think
right.
this will be good.
And WWE's version of ECW is finally on the network. There's some hidden gems in there, man.
I mean,
CM
take some
Punk.
time.
Like what? Oh,
CM Punk.
CM
Punk?
Punk, the
All
Second
day.
City Saint, his straight edge thing. John Morrison becoming the ECW champion.
okay.
Chris Benoit's final WWE match
Ooh.
is there. Christian's run with the ECW title. I enjoyed that as a kid.
Vince McMahon is the ECW champion.
Bobby
Oh,
Lashley is the
Lord.
ECW champion. Ric Flair has a match with Big Show for the ECW title. Kurt Angle, the Wrestling Machine in ECW. You know, a lot of hidden gems are there. Randy Orton did a little tenure in there as well. A lot of great stuff is there. Go check it out on the network. Now, guys, which NXT superstar has WWE effed up the most?
On the main roster or?
Yeah,
Okay.
Brandon, let's start with you.
It's Bailey. There's no question that it's Bailey. Bailey could honestly be like literally a top person in the company, and they just have buried her so far underneath the ground. It's terrible. I know I'm a little biased because she's from San Jose, but like
Shout out San
what she
Jose.
was in NXT was just amazing. She was lovable, and she was just a fights clean and all that stuff. And then they kind of ruined her when she kind of technically cheated when Sasha Banks came out and won, and she was like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm gonna be the champion anyways." And then like if you
Yeah.
just waited and like crowned her the champion at WrestleMania, it would have made much more sense.
Pull a Daniel Bryan moment. Mitchell, what about you?
Thankfully, in the last half year, it has changed because half a year ago I would have said Neville, but they found where to put him and found what to do with him, and it's made me so happy. But right now, I'm gonna say Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, he was
I
the
l-
NXT champion.
I
He was the dude back
loved
there.
Bo Dallas. I loved him, and I still love him now. He beat Flow Rider in a rap battle. Not that that's hard,
Bro,
but still,
that was
he
dope.
beat someone in a rap battle. He's great, and
I'm
he
still waiting on that mixtape.
also he looks great right now. Like
Yeah.
he went through this time where he was letting himself go a little bit. He obviously wasn't caring as much because I mean they weren't doing anything with him. But he's grown out some beautiful facial hair. He's got himself a little bit more ripped. Maybe they're preparing for him to let him join his brother.
No, actually, Great Balls of Fire. This was the first time we've seen Bo Dallas on a pay-per-view in 2 years.
I know that's ridiculous.
If Jinder Mahal can be a world champion, Bo Dallas can be a world
Put him
champion.
put him with his brother Bray. Put him with the
Yeah.
Wyatts.
All right, Sean, what about you?
I want to say Ty Dillinger right now because he came on the SmackDown after Mania, and then what? He was off TV for a month, and then they brought him back for the
Battle Royal.
Royal Royal,
And then he just had a
and
match with the champ.
he's been getting like buried, and they're not really doing anything with him. And I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of potential to they can do a lot with Ty Dillinger.
I mean,
But-
yeah,
Honestly, I think Bailey is a bigger talent than
a bigger
Oh,
let.
Bo Dallas and Ty Dillinger.
definitely, but I'm
Bailey's
saying
a bigger
like,
letdown. Yeah.
but Bailey's had she's held the women's championship. Ty Dillinger,
But those title defense that didn't mean anything.
I know.
I
It
think
wasn't that
they've
good.
hurt her story a lot, but I think that she is still popular. She pinned Alexa, and
She can
the
still get a
crowd
pop,
went
yeah.
ridiculously wild. The crowd still loves Bailey.
there's still a hugger section.
They just need to fix her story.
For me, I'm gonna have to go. I know he's on TV and being like comedic and all that, but I'm gonna have to go Tyler Breeze.
okay.
I mean,
Mhm.
like back in NXT, he was killing it, having these awesome matches with Neville and the Fatal Four with Neville, Sami Zayn, Tyson Kidd, his single matches with Sami Zayn that were unbelievable.
Jushin Liger.
Jushin Thunder Liger,
Great match.
he had that. I mean, like when he came onto the main roster, I'm like, all right, this guy could probably be the U.S. champ if nothing else. And then he didn't really do much. He had that thing with Summer Rae, which really wasn't all that great.
No, that didn't work.
He went into now he's in Breezango, which is hilarious.
He's in the Fashion Police. I mean, to be fair, he is in maybe my highlight of SmackDown Weekly.
He
Those
is,
those
yes.
those bits are like my favorite part.
I mean, hopefully this leads to these two guys, because Fandango, Johnny Curtis, whatever you want to call him, very underutilized. He's a good worker. Hopefully these guys get somewhere into the tag title scene, or 2017 is the year of breakups. We could split them and.
Oh, I don't want to see them break up though.
Hey, Hype Bros, it could
Yeah,
be happening too.
Yeah, no, that's fine. They can both break up and then never show up on my TV again. I'm fine with that.
That's not hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hype.
All right, guys. In professional wrestling, people, they work for something. They work to get to the title, because that's the be all and end all of a promotion. And as we saw with SummerSlam 2016, the look of a title means a lot. So with that being said, what are your top 5 championship designs? Any promotion, anywhere in the world. Do you want me to go? Do you want me to?
Sure.
Yeah, why don't you start
I'll
us
start it
off?
off.
You go first.
Some honorable mentions real quick. The NWA World Title, the original NXT Championship, the WWE Spinner, the TNA X Division, the one with the red X, and then the WCPW Internet Title. But for my number 1, I'm going the WWF Winged Eagle Championship. Now this is a title that a lot of guys held. I mean, you had your Psycho Sids, your Bret Harts, your Macho Mans, your Hogans, your Austins, your Takers, and Shawn Michaels, the boyhood dream. We saw him hold that championship, and he looked like he truly wanted to be the champion. And I'm like, that's what happens with a world championship. Next, we're gonna go the Big Gold, the World Heavyweight Title. Now that's a title that Ric Flair held back in the NWA, WCW times, and he really carried himself like a champion. Hunter had it during his reign of terror, and that it really brought prestige back to it. And of course, Edge and Taker, their work with it. My next title design, I'm gonna go the current Ring of Honor World Championship, because it looks nice.
You gotta touch it.
I did. I got to hold the Ring of Honor World title. That was pretty cool. I didn't want to let it go.
Check it out on the Bulletcast.
Check it out on the
Instagram.
Bulletcast. Yep.
Shout out.
And then I'm gonna go the classic Intercontinental title, the one that we have now, or the black strap back in the 90s. I mean, Razor and Shawn fighting for it. It brought prestige to the design of the title. Of course, what Miz does now. And then yes, for your New Japan marks, the IWGP Championship.
What? It's number 1. Is it number 1?
No, it's his number 5.
It's
Didn't
number
you?
5.
You started from 1 and you worked backwards.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
Hey,
Why'd you start backwards?
It's a beautiful title.
I didn't start backwards.
Oh my god.
Look, it's pretty. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
It's very pretty. When AJ had it, I'm like, oh, that looks so sweet. Even with Okada having him, like, oh my god, that's pretty cool. It makes anybody look like a champion. And yes, I'll even give it to Kenny Omega when he wins it. All right.
Don't jinx it. It
You
hasn't
kid-
happened yet.
All right. You kids happy now? All right. Brandon, why don't you go?
Okay, so number 5, we got the Stone Cold Steve Austin title, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, the
I don't
smoking
even know if you
skull.
can see that, but who
The
cares?
skull.
So we got the Smoking Skull belt, did it get chucked over the river? I don't know. I forget. They've chucked so many belts over the river, it's confusing.
Yeah.
But this title really doesn't mean all that much, because it's just Stone Cold's title that he just got so they can sell merchandise and stuff, but
Merch.
whatever.
Merch.
So we got a current one. We have the WWE UK Championship, all that good fun stuff.
Oh,
over there.
that is nice. That's a pretty title.
Mhm.
It's
It's just,
it's
just
regal.
simple.
It's regal.
Actually, I think he just defended it at ICW in a Fatal 4-Way.
It has the horses, it has
Pete
the
Dunne.
crown and everything. It's just a simple belt, but it has a lot of stuff going on, and it just you see it, you
Looks
understand
very royal.
what it's supposed to mean. Very royal.
Yeah.
What you said. So the number 3, we got the classic NWA Championship. A real title. It has
Yes.
the whatever flags on it. You got Canada, Australia,
Harley
USA,
Race,
Mexico,
Flair,
Japan. Yes.
Dusty.
Nice.
It's a real championship.
Christian even held
Somebody
the
was
title.
walking around with that championship at APW. He thought he was the man.
He did.
He was the
No,
champion.
That dude dressed like Roman with the title. He looked like he
Mhm.
thought he was the
And
man.
John Cena was there too.
Oh yes.
There's a bunch of marks there. So the number, what am I at? I'm at 3, 2. This is number 2. We got the Undisputed Championship. We got the Brock Lesnar Championship. You know what I'm saying? Mhm.
I
pretty one.
enjoyed that title. Eddie won it. That's Cal Palace.
And the number 1, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It's a very beautiful championship.
It is.
And one thing you forgot to mention is all the other nameplates
The
on
side
the
plates.
championship. So it has the other names of the champions on the belt. So you're not just wearing, your championship. You're wearing every other champion.
That's
on
very
there.
original. I will give them
So,
credit
boom.
for that. I like that.
There you go.
It's nice.
Mitchell, what about you, man?
All right, so I'm gonna go start with number five. Number five, I'm gonna go with the ECW Championship. I love something.
which
something. This one. I love
Okay.
something pulpy. I love something a little
You want me
colorful.
to- want me to show people?
Yeah, show that. Show them that. Oh, well.
Oh, your phone.
it went-
And we're dead.
Oh, there.
Oh.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I love something pulpy, something a little colorful, something a little different than other people's with the scrawling all over it. For number two or number four, we are going to go with the IWGP Championship title or heavyweight title. It's coming up in
No
everyone's.
love.
It's coming
we
up in
just saw
everyone's
it.
list.
Yes.
We just saw it. Then for number three, I'm gonna go with the UK Championship title. Also just saw it. It's Regal. I think would be the perfect word to describe it.
Yes.
A little William Regal with
Shout
a
out
Regal
to
title.
William.
He's a man's man.
It's
Yes.
a beautiful
and
title.
a wrestler's wrestler.
And then also already just seen recently the for number two, I'm going with the winged title. It is
Winged Eagle?
It is a beaut. It is nothing
I
called.
don't think I showed it. I'll show it. I'll show it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Guys, take a look at that bad boy.
It is just a stunning,
Delightful.
Yeah,
delightful.
Wonderful.
And then my number one, I can't help it. It will always be my favorite. Is the Intercontinental Championship, the current one, WWE's. And it also has not changed that much over the years. It is just the classy white strap with the globe, and it's just like
it had a purple strap at one point.
it did for a little while. If I like, just for aesthetics purposes, as if I had to choose a title to win, it would be that one. It's just beautiful. It feels
Cash
like
in Money in the Bank on the Intercontinental title.
I am waiting for someone to cash in that briefcase on something other than the main event title. I would love that. I would love it.
Hey, Vince signed me. I'll do it.
Yeah, it would definitely raise the stock of whatever title they cashed in on.
Yeah.
Raise the bar.
We are the bar.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say? What kind of podcast is this, Brandon? We're the what?
The Elite Podcast.
Ooh.
The Elite.
Mhm.
All right,
Well
Sean.
said.
What about you, my
All right,
man?
so you got number five, the NXT title, the big X one that Kevin Owens
Oh,
held.
The original one, yes.
Yeah, just because
That one's
how
fun.
That was
how
great.
oversized it was, how ridiculous it looked, but Kevin
It
Owens
looked
pulled
good
it
on
off.
anybody too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I missed that.
Next one, Phil. I think you recently took a picture with this one. The ROH title.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
I-
liked. I saw the picture with it.
I held
Looked good.
The that bad boy. I have a replica at the house.
Oh, definitely.
I don't care about mine now since I held the real thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Next we have the UK title. I don't care much about who's held it, like right now, but just the design. If we're going with designs like solely, then it looks good. Last two, I got the US title and gotta go with the IC title just because Dean held it, but now I'm liking what the Miz is doing with the title currently.
I think
Yes.
he's made it more relevant than
Yeah,
it's been in
totally.
forever. Just as a quick honorable mention, this isn't an actual title, so I couldn't put it on my list. But have you guys seen the people who did the color? They recolored the Cruiserweight Championship title just to make it look like all the other titles.
Oh, that looks
Like they got rid of the silver, they got rid of the purple, and they
Actually,
just made it gold and like black.
Actually,
it
I heard
looks,
they actually made that.
Did they?
WWE.
It
Yeah.
looks so
They're just
good.
waiting to use it.
They should. It looks better in my opinion, and it would be a little bit easy. I think people would take 205 Live a little bit more seriously
Yeah.
if the title didn't
There's
look
too
like I
much
could
purple
buy it
on
on
that
the
show.
Yeah. Guys, which superstar needs a push?
Emma.
Yes. Yes.
Emma's my number one. She is someone I've wanted to see in the main event scene
Yes.
ever since her first match. I think her skill is there. I think her character work is second to none in the women's right now. And there are some really great characters, but I think she's perfect at it. And I think the storyline is right there. I don't even need her to go after the title for her to get the push. What I want to see her do is I want to see her go around and start taking out the horsewomen. Because she has beef on all of them. Because she was doing it before they were. She was there with work rate and
It's a
trying
great story that makes sense.
before, and it would be great to see her be like, these four women are getting all the limelight and all the internet marks love these four women. I've been doing just as long as them, and no one cares about me. I would love to see her just go around taking each one out. Be
I
the
care about
legend
you,
killer. Be the legend killer Emma. Have her do kind of a Randy Orton thing where she just takes each one down.
All right.
Yeah.
Brandon, what about
Who
you?
needs a push? Roman Reigns.
Oh,
No, okay, so I think well, this guy's he's getting a push, but it's not the push I would give him. It'd be Finn Balor. Finn Balor is like really stuck in the upper mid card right now, and when he came back, he should be the main eventer. He's the first ever Universal Champion.
he
The
wasn't on the
shortest
card.
reigning Universal Champion and the longest reigning NXT champion.
Yeah, he
Okay.
just deserves so much more respect than that. He's not getting any younger.
He wasn't even on the card for Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, it's a shame.
No.
He wasn't anywhere on the show.
And right now he's just feuding with Elias Sampson, and I don't know what he's
I-
doing.
I
and I
hope-
don't know what he's doing at SummerSlam.
I think that was the blow off match at Raw.
I think it's over. You
I-
could have at least had him come out during the weird ambulance blowover match.
And have that
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, because people were chanting that the entire time. If the few times that the camera cut to that match, people were just chanting, "We want Balor."
All right, for me, I'm gonna have to go Sami Zayn. But here's what you do. Back in the 90s, when Shawn was training to win the WWE title from Bray at Mania 12, he had Jose Lothario. Get Sammy one of those guys. Like, have him training like a Rocky type thing, training for the big match, and then have kind of a Daniel Bryan-esque moment where he wins the title, get a huge pop. I feel like that'd be the right place to go.
It's gonna take a long time to rebuild
I-
Sami Zayn.
It's gonna
See,
take.
I don't think he's been broken. I think he's fine, but I think he's
Well, he just
taking a
loses
long
way
road.
too many matches.
I mean, he beat Baron Corbin 3 times in a row.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And Baron Corbin has 1 win on him. I think he's been fine recently. I think the problem with pushing Sammy is that you run into the same problem if you push him too early that you ran into with Bailey. They pushed her too quick. The underdog story's over. He has an underdog
I
story.
know it could be a slow build because the Daniel Bryan thing was about like an 8 or 9 month build.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history.
I want to see him go from number 2 or number 3 in the Royal Rumble and win it, but not this year, but next.
But with
kinda
Daniel
thing.
Bryan, they like made him lose so many times. Like after a while, you just expect him to lose again. With all the times the Authority, interfered and the Shawn Michaels super kick and all that other stuff, it's kind of just, it gets tiresome after a while.
Mm.
Just let him win.
I mean, we can get there. We'll see. All right, guys. Let's talk about the balls.
Yes.
Let's talk
okay.
about great
My
balls.
boy.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. This pay-per-view, I give it a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
I give it an A minus.
I
I
give it,
enjoyed every match.
I give it a B. I mean, we all made fun of the name, but after what we saw on Sunday, there will be a second Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'm okay with them. Just let's keep doing classic rock songs. It seems to be a good luck charm. Let's see WWE. I don't know, WWE Helter Skelter, WWE Highway to Hell, WWE No Satisfaction. Let's just keep going.
Jailhouse Rock.
Jailhouse Rock.
Let's get like some
All cage matches, every single one.
let's get
Nice.
like some like stage design here going too.
A
Like
giant guitar.
I mean, it could have been like
A
an
giant
old
drive-in.
Yeah,
exactly. That would have been perfect.
I loved
Back-
the style.
Like look
of-
at back in the early 2000s, everything had something different. It was great. It was wonderful.
the minute they had that old narrator start the thing like tonight on Great Balls of
Yeah.
Fire, see the monster, and I was like, oh, this is exactly what I want. This makes me feel like
It's
what I'm
great.
watching is cool.
All right, but let's get into it. Neville he defeated Akira Tozawa to retain his title.
Of course.
Good for him.
Bray Wyatt picked up a win on pay-per-view.
And the
That
next night,
caught me off guard.
And then I did some research, including his win from Raw. This is his 184th win in WWE, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
good.
He has lost 424 matches, and he
Yeah.
has had 10 draws.
And you wonder why he's not the god that he says he is. But hey, he won this one. We can't complain. He won,
know,
and he's
yeah.
won since, and maybe he'll keep winning.
Yeah, we'll see. Cass defeated Enzo, no surprise there.
That was one of my favorite matches of the night, even though it was hard to watch. But it was hard to watch in the right way.
Let's soak this all in. A heel is getting booed in 2017.
You make it seem like that's such a big deal.
It is.
It's not really that big of a deal. That's
It
what they're
is.
supposed to do.
It is. Cause
Exactly, but they're
I mean,
not good at it normally.
We look at all this like all the heels are like getting cheered basically.
Yeah.
Like
Once again,
I-
it has
I-
to do with the baby face. If you have a good baby face, they'll cheer
And
the baby face.
I
and
enjoy
Enzo's
the
fire on the
okay,
mic.
we went to Payback, and it was Chris Jericho against Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens, but
Mhm.
people were getting behind Chris Jericho because they love Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
what they do. He's the goat.
Exactly.
He's the goat. He's my goat.
So
He's my
Exactly.
goat. But I appreciate that. Moving on, Cesaro and Sheamus defeat the Hardy Boys.
I thought this was the
4-3.
best
That-
match of the show.
Yeah.
It was really
I-
good, especially those last couple minutes.
Oh, it was
The
so
last
well
few
done.
seconds,
Oh
even.
man, I was marking out.
And Matt just bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
I saw a meme and
Those
it was
faces Matt was making.
Oh,
They're getting me excited.
Ladies and we got hardway. We got hardway blood,
Like
and-
3 times.
and Matt's face is just drenched with blood in the faces, the eyes rolling in the
he
back.
was
I'm like,
cracked. He was fractured. He was.
You know,
broken. I
the
hope.
show was supposed to be
It's
called
coming
Bad
up, I
Blood.
hope.
It's supposed to be called Bad Blood, and we got a whole bunch of blood on this show.
We
was
got some hardway. I was excited.
Mhm.
Sasha Banks defeats Alexa Bliss via count out, but Alexa keeps her title.
This was.
Yeah.
This I maybe the ending was a little bit. I mean, the ending I think fit her character,
It was a
but
good
this
match.
match was so hard. Like I winced almost every time they did something because it looked like
Alexa, she pulled out the arm thing
Yeah.
again, and
Yeah.
she snapped it right back in place and threw a nice forearm.
And Sasha Banks can bend her back the way that Alexa bends her arm. Like every time Sasha Banks takes a back bump, I'm like, oh, you're dead. Oh, you're just dead.
I mean,
Botcha Banks.
this was great work from heel work from Alexa. Really working the crowd.
Definitely.
The Miz, he defeats Dean Ambrose. I wasn't really surprised with
No,
that.
I wasn't either.
I'm happy for. Or I'm ready for this feud to be over.
Getting
It
some-
doesn't look like it's over. We're getting some tag team matches. We'll get to that.
We'll get to it. Looks good.
all right.
It's promising.
Now this match, Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns.
It was great.
Braun no selling the chair shots. Like, come on, you son of a.
Bitch.
Yep.
Yeah, bitch.
You
fuck
can say that on TV.
Yeah. And then just Roman darting himself into the ambulance, and then after that he gets a little mad. He gets a little angry. So what does he do? He tries to commit vehicular manslaughter on LeBron Strowman.
Yeah.
Vehicular manslaughter. It was attempted murder.
Yeah.
It was.
And he threw out that poor ambulance driver. What did that ambulance driver do to Roman?
He was just.
All he had to do was ask
They had
him
to bring
"Excuse
in
me,
the jaws of life
you
to
get-
save Braun.
I know that Kurt Angle's face. What
are you doing?
And then they send Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins
Yeah.
out there to have a match.
And then you don't even see the.
I don't see the finish.
Hey,
no
Heath
one saw
Slater
the
won, though.
finish.
He won a match on paper.
Good job, Heath.
Congratulations to
Good
Heath.
job, Heath. Later, they brought out Kurt Hawkins, and my mindset was like, oh, they're gonna have a quick jobber match while they do the storyline. And then Heath came out like, okay, they're gonna have a jobber on jobber match while we wait for the ambulance to be opened.
Like that's like Kurt said he was in catering. Like you could see him chewing on his way to the ring. It was pretty funny.
And Heath was like wrapping his hands still. He was like, well, no.
Yeah.
I thought that felt very sports entertainment
Yeah.
company to me, and I liked that. It felt like, oh, we didn't expect this to happen.
But
We
of
need to throw
course,
a match on.
Braun makes his way out, and we saw some blood.
And he doesn't care. He's wandering off into the desert.
Vince gave the okay for some color. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I was ready for some Undertaker something to happen where they open it and Braun's not even in there. I was ready for something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I was hoping that
Or
wasn't
even
gonna
just
happen.
Braun just like kicking the door down. But they didn't do that.
They
he was
pulled
a
him out.
human.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman was a
He's a
human.
human.
I thought I couldn't love Braun Strowman like more than I did, but I do.
I'm praying that this is the double turn that it felt like it was. If it wasn't Roman, it would be a double turn. But if anything, it's at least one single turn where Braun is definitely a babyface now. We just saw him take everything and keep on walking.
All right, then
Roman Reigns needs to be investigated by the Dallas Police Department.
There was a change.org
By the
petition
by the Fashion Rangers.
saying
the
arrest
Fashion
Roman
Rangers.
Reigns,
Yeah.
and I'm just wondering, do you know how this works, or guess
yeah.
not?
Those marks trying to put themselves over on
I
the
tweeted
internet.
the Dallas Police Department. They haven't responded back to me yet.
Well, I used to live in Dallas. They don't
They didn't do anything there.
I mean,
Oh well.
they still the whole JFK thing. They don't do anything. All right, moving on. Brock Lesnar defeats Samoa Joe. There have been people on the internet have been saying, "Oh, Samoa Joe's buried. Samoa Joe's buried."
Not
really.
He looked very strong, and he main evented a WWE pay-per-view.
He got 80% of the offense in this match.
Well, this just took him from being. I mean, would you rather him be 50-50 booked like every other superstar on the main roster? No, he just looked amazing compared to Brock Lesnar. The last person who made Brock Lesnar look anywhere near this bad, like week-wise, was Goldberg, and before that, nobody. So no, Samoa Joe looks like a complete killer in this
does.
match and just a star. Like this was
Because
amazing.
like even in those Roman Reigns matches at WrestleMania, he wasn't like just walking around like he was killed like he was in this match. Like Brock
No.
he'd just pop up and be a badass, but not this one.
It took like 4 Superman punches there.
Mhm.
The Uranagi through the table. That was great. I loved it.
Sweet.
Oh wait, but going back to Sasha and Alexa, that little after match scuffle.
Oh yeah, the beatdown.
Yeah.
That was really good
That was
too.
a solid beatdown. I actually feel like these two hate each other.
I hope
and
they get one-on-one at SummerSlam and give them some time.
Yeah.
SummerSlam was like what 4 hours last year.
Yeah.
Give them like 15,
I
20
got
minutes.
my concerns
How long
that
was this
SummerSlam is going to be a fatal four-way. I got a vibe that that's what it is, but I hope it's
Everybody needs to get on the car to get their money.
not. It's one of the big four.
Oh great. Moving on. Raw. The Raw recap. Big Cass and Show. They get into a little scuffle there.
Yes.
We know where that's gonna. We
I
know
think
what's
this-
gonna happen.
But a heel got booed. I thought that's
think-
such a rare thing.
I think this is
I
good.
just said that.
But it wasn't
thi-
rare.
I
Big Show
think-
got cheered.
I think that this is good.
He's whatever
hearing
Vince wants him to
I'm
be.
hearing excuses right now.
I think that this is good for both of them, no matter what goes forward. Big Show gets to work with someone that he can work with in an interesting way, and Big Cass gets to work with a giant and learn how to wrestle from one of the best giants of all time. So I think this will
true.
be good for Big Cass.
and
I think
Enzo
this,
could be the manager that he should be, because I feel Enzo's gonna come back and be a ringside. And by the way, Big Cass versus Big Show, it get confusing.
Can also I want to mention a missed opportunity. So WWE, if you listen to this, steal this from me. Big Cass, there's a missed opportunity for him to say, then there's only one word to describe you, and I'm going to spell it out for you. SOFT. Let me just say that's a missed opportunity that they have not taken yet. He needs to spell soft normally.
Yes, proper grammar is key.
And very heelish.
Yes.
We're CM Punk with the grammar Nazi.
Oh man, I used to love those. Finn Balor defeats Elias Sampson.
No surprise.
Moving on.
And the Good Brothers, they picked up a win.
They picked up a win.
Let's rejoice in that.
But
Yeah.
what about the promo with the Hardys?
Oh yeah, the Hardys promo. Jeff was like, should we go be obsolete?
No, he said that they should fade away and classify themselves as
He said the
obsolete.
whole
That is exactly
thing.
what they said in TNA. That's like
that was his opening theme.
That's the clearest
That was his
reference
theme.
they
That was
have
his
done.
song.
That's
Yeah,
the
when
clearest reference
Rebby was on the piano,
with
and then
Maxwell on her back.
and then Matt, we said they were a little stitched up, a little hurt, and then
A little
A little beat up, a little broken.
broken.
And he
That's
had
marvelous.
a proclamation for everybody.
We're getting there.
The celestial voices are calling
I think he
him.
just needs to keep losing. They need to keep. They need to get to the like. I don't know how you artificially do this, but they need to end up feeling like they're at the bottom of the card, and then that's when it happens. That's the explosion.
Or they should go tour the Seven Deities. But yes, the Good Brothers defeat the Hardys, and then
They came back.
yes,
The top guys are back.
top guys are back. They
Top
beat
guys
down
are
the
back.
Hardys, and then Matt
My boys.
Matt tweeted out something like, "The Bucks of Youth and I have something in common." Hashtag FTR. So that was pretty funny.
That was good.
So we're gonna see where this goes. I'm excited for the Revival versus the Hardy Boys. The Mizzies happened.
Oh.
I popped like when I heard the name because I wasn't really paying attention. Then he said it. I popped for it. I was like, oh, that's great.
Only the Miz could pull this off. If almost any other wrestler tried to do something like this, it would be like, this is your life, bad. But when the Miz touches
It'd be
anything,
LeVar Ball
it
bad.
becomes gold.
What are you talking about? LeVar Ball is gold. That's my boy.
I hate that man. All right.
Triple B's.
Gold.
Dean comes out and then Rollins, Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah.
I love all of this so much.
Seth versus Miz at SummerSlam. Please do it for the title. Let's get that.
Just that backstage moment between Dean and Seth, where Dean's like, "Yo, you do your thing, I do mine. Stay away from me." I remember. It's like, thank you, Dean. Or
Continuity.
What happened to Roman? Roman's like, "Oh, Seth, we cool again. We're gonna team together." Dean's like,
Well,
"Yo,
Roman Reigns.
Roman tries to kill people.
He's an attempted
yeah.
murderer.
And then Dean was like, "You curb stomped me onto cinder blocks and tried to end my career. We're cool. You stay away from me for now."
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that backstage segment, and then Sasha and Bailey, they defeat Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax.
Bailey in the pin. Crowd goes wild.
Good for them.
We'll see where we go.
The women had a match.
Women had a match.
Women power.
All right. Goldust versus R-Truth.
Once again, Goldust on fire.
Goldust great.
Bringing
R-Truth.
back the classic suit. I dig it. Shout
Currently
out.
on Hulu, all the Goldust stuff has been cut. So if you don't watch Raw on Hulu, you ain't watching this. You
Don't
missing
watch
out.
Hulu Raw.
You missing out.
Sit there for 3 hours like the rest of us.
So, just wondering your guys' thoughts. Eventually, this is going to end. The R-Truth and Goldust like package is going to end. Where do you send Goldust after this? Because he's doing too well to just kind of flounder after this.
Goldust has been an IC champion before.
Do you
just
send him
saying.
out? Do you send
Put
him
that
after the
strap
Miz?
on him.
Put it
You
on
do-
Seth.
wait,
and then
The
put it
A-lister
on-
versus all the movie references. The whole
Exactly.
got kind of a movie theme going on.
The
Do they have any pay-per-views in Hollywood coming up? Or
no. Oh, yes.
they do.
It's in like No Mercy or something. But I think it's SmackDown.
Mm,
That's coming to LA.
You know, Goldust thinks he's the Steven Spielberg of the
I mean,
WWE.
they were just in LA like last week.
That'd be
2
nice.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Would be exciting. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, and Joe.
Best segment
It was so good.
possibly of the year.
Yeah.
It was
Joe,
really good.
Joe
That
made
good.
me believe like he was about to strangle somebody. So and Brock, he's picking up the mic. I enjoy it.
Oh, that was
I love it.
Brock Lesnar can talk. If he didn't have Paul Heyman,
He'd be fine. He's
Yeah.
just all that much better when he does have him.
I mean, Brock used to talk by himself back in the day. But moving on, the two Samoan Joes will face each other. Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. Winner gets Lesnar at SummerSlam. I think they might go one of two ways here.
Okay.
Braun does a run-in, cost Roman the match, and then we get Joe versus Brock, or we could be a fatal four-way.
That's what I want. My SummerSlam is Brock versus Joe versus Roman versus Braun for the title.
I like one-on-one matches.
I do too, but
Keep it simple.
I think that we've had enough one-on-ones.
We've had some good multi-man matches back in our day.
Yeah,
in
and
our
I
time.
would want to see Braun take on Brock.
I would want to see that one-on-one. That seems like the
I think it's only
payoff.
gonna happen like if it was a fatal four-way though. At this point,
I'm very happy that they all got good lines in there. Like I feel like Roman definitely was outclassed by everyone else
Roman
during
was the
this.
third out of all of them, but he was still good.
But he still had some good bits. That whole like I have to put him down because you can't do it. Looks at Simone, then looks at Brock, and you're never here. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
And
that's
then Joe
a
was
little
like,
too
"You've
real.
never beaten me," which is true. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, this is
Or
great."
Joe doing his little when he's talking to Brock and Brock turns and looks at Roman. Joe does his little, "Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you, boy." And like
I was
Brock
like,
turns and
"Ooh."
Brock was a little
He's a little shook.
little ticked off. I think there was a little improv.
I really enjoyed that. Kurt Angle and Corey Graves, they have their talk again.
But next week
Next week we get the conclusion.
There's a DM
of
out
the
there.
one he loves,
There's a DM out there.
the one he loves,
Is it better than Kenny
coming
Omega?
back.
What do you think? What do you think this is going?
I mean,
Honestly, my first thought was like Kurt Angle was gay. Like I don't know why, but I don't trust them to do a storyline like that because
No.
they would do something like terrible. But I think it's probably
well,
you know,
it'll never
Dixie,
be Bill.
Dixie Carter comes back.
Dixie Carter's is definitely on the table. I've heard a lot of people say Stephanie McMahon.
It'll never be
love triangle between.
Yeah, do a little cheating angle with Stephanie to build a Triple H and Kurt Angle
They're in
feud.
Nashville next
Hey,
week.
all. Oh man, they
Dixie
are.
Carter just is down the road.
True.
That would make a lot of sense.
Or I've also heard maybe a previous bit of cheating has happened, and they're gonna do another like
A son.
illegitimate son angle with Kurt Angle, and we have someone who's his son. Because it's been a while since we had that.
I mean, Hornswoggle. What was it, like 07?
Hey,
Chad
best
Gable.
storyline
It should have
ever,
been.
right?
It should have been Mr. Kennedy.
Should have been Mr. Kennedy.
But going back to that whole gay
Jason
thing,
Jordan.
Jason Jordan.
Yep.
No, I've been seeing people are throwing out Chad Gable's name. I'm like, but he's on SmackDown though, so I don't know that.
Going back to that whole gay thing, it'll never be as good as Billy and Chuck. That shit was
Really,
funny.
really.
God.
With Eric Bischoff as the preacher.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that was
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
And after that, Bray Wyatt defeats Seth Rollins once again. Seth's taking some L's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
okay. I think he
Bray
beat
Wyatt,
Triple H at
Bray Wyatt doing the
WrestleMania.
eye poke, so it's not a clean victory. But just give Bray some of those
and
wins
then-
and build up credibility.
And then we end Raw with Kurt's cryptic phone call. We're gonna see what happens there. But moving on.
But also,
Oh, what?
before you forget, Seth Rollins starting to get a beat down afterwards, and Dean comes out.
Oh yes, of course, we can't forget about that.
So
The
tag
whole-
team matches coming.
I'm-
The whole Miz thing.
I'm looking forward to maybe a good fire promo from Dean next week about working with Seth but still hating him. I think that slides right into Dean's like wheelhouse of his good promos.
Yeah.
I smell a tag team match, playa.
I smell a handicap match. 3-on-2.
I'm down.
All
More
right.
than down.
This past Friday, my boy AJ Styles, he's been the champion of the world, and he's the champion of our country
There we
Yeah,
go.
at a house
I
show.
could not be happier
Madison
about that.
Square Garden.
Apparently this
The
was Kevin
phenomenal
Owens'
one.
idea. They were supposed to beat him at Battleground anyways, and he was like, you know what? Why don't we just do it at MSG?
I know.
Make it a big deal.
I heard this was a really good show. Goldust defeated R-Truth and then they had Roman versus Bray Wyatt, right? And so Roman beats Wyatt, but normally they don't have guys at house shows to make a run in, but they did for Braun. So Braun makes a run in on Roman, right? And then Seth comes out, but then they didn't forget about the whole Bray Wyatt Seth thing. So Bray Wyatt attacks Seth and whatever. Then Seth and Roman get their comeuppance, and they're cheering for Dean like he's supposed to come out, but he doesn't. He's like 15 deep at the bar, and then Seth's like, "Nah, Dean's at the bar, but we hear you." So
Maybe.
well,
maybe one day.
it's a Raw show. That's why.
down
Alright,
down the line,
I don't know. Dean is on Raw. I don't know. I'm confused now.
down the line. Who
I think
knows?
Madison Square Garden is just a Madison Square Garden show. I don't think it's like Raw or SmackDown specific because it's MSG.
Yeah.
I think everyone shows up. I mean, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles.
Yeah, but that was the only
Shinsuke and
SmackDown.
Dolph. They were there too. It was good. All right, moving on with SmackDown. The U.S. Open Challenge. The face, the franchise, he answered the challenge, but it was.
JBO ruined this. He was so over the top. He's like, oh my god, this is gonna be a great match. It's gonna be WrestleMania. Come early, and I'm like, there's no way this match is happening.
Yeah, it's
No.
not gonna happen.
And-
The minute that his music hit, I was like, yeah, nope, this isn't happening.
Kevin Owens
Where's the run-in?
comes out there, cuts a promo. Then of course, handsome Rusev does his heelish tactic thing. So we get a tag match for later on in the night. But after this, the modern day Maharaja defeats the Perfect 10. Pretty clean, I might add.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to He's the world heavyweight champion. But you got to make him look not like a complete
You see,
putz.
this is the thing. Once Jinder won the title, he did a lot of celebrating, but he hasn't felt like the champion really. Let's throw this back to June 30th, 2008, when Punk cashes in on Edge for the first time. Punk, he has the title, but he doesn't feel like the champion, because that was at a time where you had Batista versus Cena. You had the probably the greatest angle for me, Michaels versus Jericho, that whole thing. Punk didn't feel like the champion. Jinder, he still doesn't feel like the champion.
The difference, though, is that at the end of the day, CM Punk was a world-class wrestler and a
That's true.
god-tier speaker,
Oh my
and Jinder Mahal has the charisma of a lima bean and has the wrestling ability of a lima bean.
And but the body of Zeus.
but the body of Zeus.
He said a lie.
He's got that. He's got that going for him.
Oh my God. Moving on. Xavier Woods defeats Jey Uso with what looks like it to be a new finisher.
Oh, I missed the Lost in the Woods.
You missed the Gail Kimmy defeat. Yep. All right. Shane McMahon in the SmackDown Women's Division. We get a Fatal 5.
Why does Lana get another opportunity at the championship?
She's Lana, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I know she's hot and all that, but
she,
I mean,
she a ring rat?
That's even pushing it.
she's just
She a ring rat?
no. Handsome Rusev would not.
Handsome
And what's
Rusev. She doesn't
what's
need to be a
going on
ring rat.
between Lana and Tamina?
Partnership?
Partnership, really?
I've been enjoying in the background. I've been enjoying Charlotte and Becky's antics. Them just hanging out and being. They definitely seem like they just don't like. They're just gonna keep like doing stuff in the background until someone tells them to stop. They're just having fun. They're just hanging out.
But we will get a Fatal 5-way women's match. Winner gets Naomi at SummerSlam.
Why can't you just do this match next week and then have the title match at Battleground? Come on, Shane. That's why Daniel Bryan needs to be there. Daniel Bryan's much better at this.
I don't know. Shinsuke versus Corbin really didn't happen, so we get it at Battleground. They were scuffling.
Once, like, why can't they just start the match? Like, why didn't Brock? Brock's a man. He finished the match. He had the match. Joe attacked him before the match started. Just inconsistencies like this. Come on, people. Not that hard.
I don't know. Tamina and Natalya, they defeat Charlotte and Becky Lynch. A super kick wins a match. I popped for that. Charlotte, she doesn't really get pinned a lot. So when it happens, it means something. So, sort of. Somewhat, to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
All
Shout out
right.
Becky Lynch.
Mike and Maria Kanellis getting a little aggressive with Sami Zayn.
I'm loving it. I'm loving this entire thing.
I've been a fan of Mike's since 2013. I
Maria.
popped for this.
It's all about Maria.
I love the power of love.
That zinger, she said love hurts. I was like, ooh. I loved it.
I love their power of love thing, and I love neurotic Seinfeld-esque Sami Zayn antics whenever he gets to just be himself on screen. I love it all. It's
Yeah.
makes my day.
I really enjoyed this. So I think we get Mike versus Zayn at Battleground.
Yeah.
Don't put them on the kickoff show. Please do not do that. Just saying. Fashion Files.
The best.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, a little bit of fashion
I
rangers.
miss Chuck Norris. What's he doing now?
Kicking ass.
Still, was he like 80?
Still
I
kicking ass.
have no idea.
All right. John Cena and AJ Styles, they defeat Kevin Owens and Handsome Rusev.
As they should. I mean,
And then we got a little face-off there.
Mhm.
I was like, ooh.
They know there's money there.
They do know. So with all this being said, Superstar Spotlight.
Samoa Joe once again. I think Samoa Joe has probably had the most Superstar Spotlight since we started this.
I think so, yeah.
It's like his third time.
Joe?
I mean, he had a great match. He had the fire promo.
No, I love them all. I mentioned before we started recording, my superstar spotlight is Noam Dar for this week.
Oh, tell us what happened on 205
Yeah,
Live.
since
We haven't-
nobody watches 205 Live.
I watched it
but
once
I
in
watch
my
it.
life.
Okay, for the record, I watch it weekly, but that's because I love my cruiserweights and I dream of good storylines
I
with
respect
them.
that.
I love my gentleman Jack Gallagher.
I love my cruiserweights back in like 96, man. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, because some of those people I think are going to be top stars. Gentleman Jack Gallagher, Noam Dar, Cedric Alexander.
I love Cedric. I
Yeah,
do.
they're all great. But anyway, there was an I Quit match between Cedric and Noam Dar this past week, and which ended in just a vicious spot of Cedric took Noam Dar hand and like twisted it through a chair, and then just started like stepping on it and then holding out the mic and saying "Say I quit," and he wouldn't, and he stepped on it again and said "Say I quit," and he wouldn't, and he said "Last chance, say I quit," and then Noam Dar spit in his face, and then Cedric proceeded to step on the chair like 30 times until you could just hear Noam Dar screaming, "I quit, I quit, I quit." And then Cedric leaves, having won the match, and he's like, finally, I'm done with this crap. And Noam Dar keeps saying, I quit, and then looks at Alicia Fox and goes, you know what, I quit, and goes on this long tirade about how he never cared about her at all. She was just a tool. He told her, and makes him such a great heel. He's like, you think I don't have a woman in every country.
Oh.
He's like, I'm 20, I joined the WWE at 22 years old, and at 23 now, I'm the youngest member of this roster. The WWE is my oyster. I have all the time in the world. You think I don't have a woman in every country? You think I don't have a woman in every city?
He's 23, bro.
He's 23. He's like, he's like, I used you to slowly build up the scar, but I don't need you anymore. And he just left her and Alicia Fox, to her credit, tears just streaming down her
Poor
face.
Alicia Fox.
She's
and-
not like throwing water and pouring it like
No,
she
she's
once
just
did.
crying. And then Noam Dar goes to finally say the last goodbye and walk away, and goes to say her name one last time and goes, Alicia, and then leaves.
Ooh.
Knowing what the crowd wants, doesn't give it to him, and leaves.
Wow.
He's a heel who just had like an ultra heel turn, and it made my week. It made me. He's always been one of my favorites, but now I can't wait to see what he does.
This dude's 23.
He's
I
23,
should be selling out the
and he's
the
one
Cow
of the
Palace or something.
best
Come on, man.
wrestlers that I've ever seen. He's the Scottish Supernova. Can't wait to see more of him. Can't wait to see more of him.
He said he's the youngest. What about Tyler Bate? Dude's
Well,
20.
he's not on the.
I know he's
WWE
he's on the main roster. He said he said specifically he's the youngest member on the 205 live roster and the youngest member on the
Make Tyler Bate the cruiserweight champion.
on the Monday Night Raw roster, because technically he's on the Monday Night Raw roster.
All right.
Oh, is that a heel getting booed in 2017?
Oh,
That apparently is such a rare
and
thing.
the best part was when he started to break up with Alicia Fox, the crowd was chanting yes, and they were cheering for him as he started that. By the end of his promo, they were booing him. He turned the crowd against him
Boom.
just by being a dick.
That's some good mic work.
Yeah.
All right.
Made my week.
APW was this past Friday. Thoughts?
It was a great show. Probably one of the, if not probably the best show I've ever. APW
We
show
saw
I went
a
to.
Ring of Honor World Title match live. That was pretty cool.
Him and Willie Mack.
Shout out Big Mac.
Met Cody Rhodes. Called him out on his New Japan hate.
So yes. So while I'm talking to Cody, the two nightmares are chopping it up, right?
Uh huh.
Mhm.
You know.
And
Right.
this
They're
guy,
just right here.
just right here, he's like, he hates New Japan. I'm like, and then I'm thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to put it over right now.
Yeah,
And then
I'm sure you were happy with how little New Japan we had to talk about this week.
And then Cody was like, why do you hate New Japan? I was like, I explained it to him. I was like, my character on our podcast hates New Japan.
Right.
Oh, but you're exposed.
Keeping it
yourself now.
kayfabe.
All right. Hey,
Wow. Exposing the business here.
I'm sorry. But yes,
He was pissing his pants when I said that. That's what happened.
I know.
He was shaking his boots.
It was cool. I held the Ring of Honor World Title.
Okay.
I didn't want to let it go.
Oh,
Shout
jealous.
out Cody Rhodes with
You
the
should
low
you
rates.
should just taken it and ran like.
Not even a little
Hey,
jealous.
the
Really
next
jealous.
time I hold that championship, I'm winning it. I'm gonna give it like 15 years from now.
Okay.
Your boy will be the Ring of Honor
Alright,
World Champ.
Good.
Cool,
Can't wait to see it.
All right,
Cool, cool.
New Japan will be coming to San Francisco. Cody gave us a little scoop there.
I'm so stoked.
Said they're gonna be doing like a little tour.
That's awesome.
So maybe like go to L.A., Vegas, San Francisco. As
Alright.
long as they come to San Francisco, I'm happy.
Let's make it happen. Guys, we're gonna be doing this for the next couple weeks. Your top 10 favorite matches. So right now we're gonna start with 10
Oh boy.
to 8.
Okay. 10
So
to 8.
who's up?
I can start us off.
All right, bitch.
This
go.
was a hard list to make. I'm gonna quickly before I jump in, because I'll talk about my first three, but I'm gonna just breeze through my three honorable mentions. I'll just say them because the fact that they're not on my list breaks my heart.
Yep.
We have the Revival versus DIY at Takeover Toronto.
Yes.
One of my favorite tag team matches of all time. Didn't get a tag team match on this top 10 list, but if I could have somehow squeezed this one in there, it would have been on it. My top guys. Seth Rollins versus John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, Royal Rumble 2015.
Oh, that was so good.
It's one of the matches I show people to get them into wrestling because it's just
Brock, like,
constant action.
Broke a rib and
It's amazing.
beast.
And then probably my most heartbreaking
That's what they
one
call 'em.
is this is a classic, and it just got knocked out just barely, and that's Undertaker and Mankind at King of the Ring 1999.
Really?
The Hell in the Cell match, and I couldn't fit it on it. And I love this match. I think it did important things for wrestling. I think it's a great match. I think it's really great. It's a little too much for me at times. I cringe a little bit, and I almost have to leave the room. It was a-
Especially with the tooth coming out
yeah,
of his nose.
especially with the tooth coming out of the nose. It's not a match I show people when they're first getting into wrestling, but it definitely saved wrestling when
What
it
about
happened.
the Rock Mankind when like brain matter's coming out of his head?
That's one of the few times I've actually been mad at The Rock as a person, and I love that man, but that was a little too much.
Oh,
He made
Dwayne.
Noel Foley cry.
Yeah.
That's
He
a
made
shame.
that goddess cry.
I know.
All right, so my top 10. We're going to start with number 10. One of my favorite matches. It's
Sorry.
one that I show people all the time. We're going to go to, I only have to go back a couple years, and only have to go a couple miles over to San Jose. We're going to go WrestleMania 31, and we're going to go Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns with Seth Rollins. Greatest Money in the Bank cash-in of all time, in my personal opinion. And
It's true. It happened at Mania.
And in my opinion, Roman Reigns' best match and one of Brock Lesnar's most fun matches because he actually got to do stuff. He got to move around. We got the first utterance of Suplex City in that match, which was
Say it.
amazing.
You can say
Suplex City Bitch was amazing. We got to see Brock bust himself hard way.
Hard way.
Which is
I
what
love hard
Brock
way
does.
color.
One of my favorite spots, him grabbing Roman's leg through the ropes and then just clotheslining him to the
Oh my
floor. One of the most
God.
brutal bumps I've ever seen
So
anyone take.
vicious.
And then some of the best commentary I've ever heard. Just them both laying on the ground, and you hear "Who will capitalize?" And as he says that, you hear Seth's music hit. He cashes in, get 3 beautiful curb stomps, which I miss. And then you hear that, and then he wins it, just sprints back up to the top, and you hear "Heist of the Century, Seth Rollins," and he's swinging it around like he used to do back in the day. It's great. So that's.
Sorry, take it you weren't at the show.
I was not at the show. I was not there.
I was. This match might be on my list.
Okay.
Just saying.
Number 10 or number 9. Number 9. Also a recent match. We're gonna go Wrestle Kingdom 11. We're gonna go Naito versus Tanahashi.
Okay.
One of my favorite matches of all time. One of some of the best storytelling I've ever heard. Really short into the story. Naito was basically the Roman Reigns of New Japan a couple years ago, where he was supposed to be the new face, and the crowd turned on him, and what should have been his main event was stolen from him by Tanahashi, who main evented with the Intercontinental title over Naito not main eventing with the heavyweight title match. So he got pissed, went to Mexico, came back, won the Intercontinental title, got the crowd on his side, proceeded to disrespect the title to no end, throwing it in the air, slamming it on stairs, and then finally he gets to go into Wrestle Kingdom, and Tanahashi's there to take that title away from him, and Naito says, "Nope."
Wow.
Hold on to the title.
New Japan with storytelling.
Amazing storytelling.
It's about
and that
time.
story reached its conclusion at Dominion, and that might show up later, might not. We may never know. But reached its conclusion there. But Naito is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Had to get him on this list, and this is probably my favorite match of his.
It's your number 8, guy.
My number 8. Gonna go with a classic. WrestleMania 3.
Ooh.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Hey.
And Macho Man Randy Savage.
There we go.
Just a clinic. Can't say too much about it. Can't say enough about it.
You had
It's
the animal, George the Animal Steel.
It's amazing. Bell to bell. It's just it's amazing how well it's aged too. It could be a main event now. It's just perfect.
I think that match was about like 12 or 14 minutes.
Yeah,
too.
it's not too long, and it has so much action packed in. I've heard people talk about that Ricky was really surprised by Randy when they planned it, because he wouldn't script his matches too much, and Macho was the kind of guy who would write a script, and they memorized it together. So it just shows proper planning makes a beautiful piece of art.
Practice makes perfect.
Yep, those are my first 3.
Sean, what about you? 10 through 8.
All right, 10 through 8. Okay, here we go. Most recently, the tag match at WrestleMania 33. It's like, hey, one more team. Who's it going to be? It's the Hardys.
Popped major.
Pop of the year, in my opinion.
Amazing that we can still have WrestleMania moments like that now.
Yeah.
One of the best moments.
Okay, I think that match can speak for itself. Number 9, Nikki Cross, Asuka, last woman standing.
Who?
Nikki Cross or Thicky Cross.
There you go.
There we go.
Delicious.
I think these two women, they gave their all. Asuka wanted to keep retaining. Nikki Cross, she just wanted the title, and she was out for blood, from what I saw, and they put each other through the announcers table.
Is she really thick? I haven't
Thick thighs save lives.
I haven't really
Phil.
checked her
Totally.
out.
Come on.
Should I?
They've done a really good job of masking how gorgeous she is.
Yeah.
To make her part of Sanity,
she pretty?
They've made her
Oh,
they made her look way grungier
dude.
than she really is.
Yeah.
Tweet at BulletCast if she's pretty. Let me know, guys.
We'll put up a
And the
poll.
Scottish accent.
We'll put up a poll. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, accents.
Oh, the
Accents.
accents.
Okay, we're straight
And
Let's get back.
number
not
8,
hard.
I guess I'll have classics on this list. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, SummerSlam.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What you know about that?
It's just there's the whole build up to it. It's like, oh man, someone attacked Shawn Michaels in the parking lot. Sean, who was it? Yeah, I know exactly who it was.
Hunter was like, "You're damn right, I did it."
Yeah, and then it's like, I want you at SummerSlam, and it's like,
And those
you're
first
damn
2
right.
matches, I thought it was just going to be all this year and last year, but
No.
he breaks out the classics.
No, that's
I got
a
it.
good one. That is a
it was
solid one.
Sidebar. I found out that wasn't Shawn Michaels' first pro wrestling match back. It was actually back in 2000 for some indie promotion
Yeah.
where he was like
Oh.
blood and gore. It was like in Texas.
CZW.
No, it was like TFW or so. I don't know. But Brandon, what about you, man?
Okay, so
10?
I put a lot of emphasis on the first time live watching it. So a lot of these matches I've watched live, so I'm not going to put a lot of classic matches on there, because it's the feeling you get when you watch it.
Exactly.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling
So
that.
the number 10 match I'm going to pick is one I was there live for, and it's No Mercy last year, Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. You know,
Oh, you're there for that. That was a good
Spirit
match.
Squad.
I had high expectations for this match. It should have main evented when they started with the
Yeah.
WWE Championship match, but you know, it's
No doubt.
What
another
did main it? Oh, those
the
Bray and
Randy
Orton.
Orton and Bray Wyatt match, which was kind of bad, but whatever. So, anyways, you know, Ziggler is going to be fired or going to quit if he loses the match. They come out with the Spirit Squad and do some of that chicanery. So Dolph Ziggler
Ooh.
ends up,
The vocab.
Yeah.
you know, Dolph Ziggler
$5
comes out
word.
and pulls it out, and he wins. So that was a very good match. So number 9, we have a classic match that I did not watch live, but I watched the build-up for, and that's Rock versus Stone Cold,
Ooh.
WrestleMania 19.
19.
Where
While
Rock
ago.
finally gets the dub.
Yep. So, you know, I kind of like this match as my favorite out of the 3 WrestleMania matches myself. You know, they build up all the other stories they've done, and Rock puts on the vest and starts hitting Stone Cold, and
That's good.
Stone Cold hits the stunner, Rock kicks out, hits the stunner again, kicks out, Rock finally gets that dub over Stone Cold. The one match he couldn't win, and he finally does it. So number 8, we have what I consider the best WrestleMania match of all time, and I know it's all the way down in 8, but I didn't watch it live, but I still appreciated how great of a match it is, and that's Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25.
What?
I know.
At number
Number 8. Number 8.
I almost had a heart attack.
I know.
number 8.
I know.
That's okay. I put
I'm sad.
Randy Savage at number 8. I understand.
But yeah, you know, that's considered like the best match ever, WrestleMania 3. So, you know, I appreciate it. I like it. It tells a great story. But just when it comes to favorites,
That dive off the top rope and that cameraman who just
Shout out to
didn't-
Jimmy
wasn't-
Snuka. That was Domino, wasn't it?
Was it? He just was not there.
Or was it Deuce? Whichever one
it
is Jimmy
doesn't matter.
Snuka's son.
whatever, this is my list. And so this is favorites, not, you know, best matches ever. And there's a difference with me. And this is my favorite match.
Hey, man, I
because
understand.
I didn't watch it. So, you know.
Just watching Undertaker go headfirst right to the ground.
know.
But there are more Undertaker
Watching-
matches to come.
Watching Taker swat Sean away was awesome. All right, my number 10. It's a TNA match.
Okay.
Okay.
Beer Money versus the Motor City Machine Guns. That whole best of 5 series in 2011. I was a young fan, and I was like, that made me appreciate tag team wrestling. I really enjoyed that. All right, my number 9. I'm showing some love to D-Bry.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan, when he was the United States champion, he's facing off against Dolph Ziggler, the Intercontinental champion at the time. Bragging rights 2010. This was a wrestling clinic,
That
and it does
I
not
can
get
only
enough
imagine.
recognition.
Breaking out the hipster picks.
This match was great. It was awesome. From a pretty bad pay-per-view, this is one of the best matches. I really enjoyed it. And my number 8, Bayley versus Sasha, NXT Brooklyn Takeover 2015, where the torch is passed, and Bayley
Yeah.
goes on to win the NXT Women's title. I really enjoyed it. It gave me the proverbial wrestling high.
It's one of the few times I think that they've really like just put the button on Bailey's story. They just got it perfect on that match.
And there wasn't like a Hurricane botch or something that
Yeah.
my heart almost stopped. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
And
And
it was like a reverse Hurricane off
Hurt-
the
yeah.
turnbuckle.
it just did not. It
did
looked-
not look good.
looked
But,
crunchy. And then the hands and the stairs were great. You
Oh
just
my
got to see some viciousness.
and then at the end, the 4 horsewomen, they all come out and throw it up. It was
Yeah.
really
Like-
good.
That I don't like that part.
Oh, the
You just go through a grueling match,
Oh, the
yeah,
curtain
no,
call.
and now you're
No, they
just
they-
loving each other.
Yeah, they just threw kayfabe out the window.
Oh, the curtain call. I forgot.
Mhm.
Jim Cornette doesn't like
Yeah.
that stuff. But yeah, that's my.
You know, since I'm not
Nice.
here next week, would you like me to read my next ones? Or do you want me to save for 2 weeks from now?
We'll save it for 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just do 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Dude, y'all gotta wait. Sorry, guys.
You
Sorry,
know, I know you
laddies.
guys are all anticipating.
All right.
this.
Moving on. Promo pick of the week. Sean, tell us about this.
Okay, so October 4th, 2016, SmackDown Live, AJ Styles. So John Cena, he wanted the title, right? And AJ Styles, he just says, "Shut up. You know, we all know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be a 16-time world champion, right? How dare you compare yourself to Ric Flair?" And then he's like, "Go ahead, Chase. Like, go ahead, go for the 16th title. It's gonna be a long road. You chase history, I make history."
And my boy does.
I thought that was the biggest clapback ever. I mean, and then Dean follows it up with, like, you know, if being a
Oh yeah, I
Fake.
forgot Dean was in that promo.
fake
See-
plastic suck ass behind the screens, like, you know, go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised that for your promo pick of the week, you picked the promo that precedes what I consider to be the better promo afterwards. I thought Dean ran Cena down after this.
He did.
Totally.
And it was amazing, just because the whole like you have fun being John Cena on TV is good, but before the Mr. Hustle, loyalty, and respect,
Yeah, I mean,
he run because Dean is the
I guess you could
workhorse.
Called him like
I guess
lazy
this could be-
part-timer.
I guess-
was like,
yeah.
oh, that's good.
this could be a conjoined promo, I guess, because it's both Styles and Ambrose
They were just wrecking
ripping
John.
into Cena.
One of my favorite bits is while Dean is just like lighting everything on fire. AJ Styles is
Straight
leaning
fire.
leaning against the ropes in the
Yeah.
background, just laughing the entire time.
Yeah.
He's just corpsing in the background, and it's perfect. It fits all their characters perfectly.
Totally.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
this whole. That was one of my favorite. That was one of my highlights of last year.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The promo pick. The match pick of the week. I told you we were getting to an old school feel.
How far are you taking us back?
We're taking us back to when John F. Kennedy was the president of the United States. We're going June 30th, 1961.
Ooh.
Buddy Rogers, who was the United States heavyweight champion at the time, he's wrestling Pat O'Connor, the innovator of the sleeper hold for the world title.
Okay.
In a 2 out of 3 falls match in Chicago, Illinois, in Comiskey Park.
Was there a dive?
No dives.
No dives, just headlocks.
Just headlocks.
There were some headlocks, a few arm drags. There was
So,
Real wrestling.
I know. Pat O'Connor runs into the turnbuckle. Roger just throws his knees up and boom, catches him right in the face. It was a really cool one. I enjoyed it. Rogers he wins, becomes dual champion.
Spoiler alert.
nice.
It was in front of about 38,000 people. It was a really good one.
Sounds like a
All right.
classic.
It really was. It was really good. And I think next week we'll end our old school. I'll give you one more. Then
No more bullet blasts from the past.
If I can find one from the 50s, we'll go there.
Let's go black and white. No, let's listen to wrestling matches on like records. Let's just do
On
audio.
radio?
Gotcha,
Yeah, where they
Hackenschmidt.
gotta tell me what's
Let's do
going
some
on.
Vern Gagne, you know. You never
Gotcha,
knows.
Hackenschmidt.
Ooh. Oh man, that's
Some classic Carnival matches, maybe
sounds
Dust
awesome.
Bowl.
Back when it was real.
All right, guys. Follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast. Tweet us questions, DM us, all this stuff.
Slide in there.
The Instagram is the Bulletcast. So is the YouTube channel, the Bulletcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn.
We out everywhere.
We're gonna try to get on Google Play pretty soon, hopefully.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts, remarks about this week in professional wrestling?
It's a good week.
Yeah.
It's a good week. Next week we are here to cover Battleground.
I won't be there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in Mexico having so much fun.
He's gonna give us a little.
I'm so mad because I really want to watch Raw. That's gonna be a good Raw next week.
Yeah,
Oh.
it looks solid.
Yeah, watch the YouTube video next week because he's gonna give us a little message.
From Mexico, overseas.
We don't know what it's gonna be.
Wait, what?
A little-
Overseas?
A message is coming.
There is no overseas in Mexico. There's no seas to cross in Mexico.
I mean, you could like.
Well,
I mean, maybe if you go out of your
I'm
way.
in Cancun, so technically I kind of go over the Gulf of Mexico a little bit, sort of. I don't really
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I'm crossing borders. I'm gonna go right over that wall.
Border
Big old
hopping.
wall.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah. You know what
All
I'm saying?
right. Thank you so much, guys. Bulletcast. This is our yard now.